Hey guys, what's up? 2-Bit Jesus back with a very long-awaited 2-Bit podcast. I don't think I need to go into details. We got this dang pandemic going on, so it's the never-ending pandemic, it seems. And yeah, that's kind of where I've been. I mean, you guys have been getting video content monthly, but I thought I should just do a little explanation there. It's just, been rather busy. I'm pretty sure we've all had our lives in a lot of flux the past year and a half now, more than almost 2 years. So here's to hopefully it ending soon, hopefully. So with that, let's focus on video games. And since the 2-Bit podcast is back, let me go ahead and go into what I've been playing. And basically what I've been playing is a shit ton of Watch Dogs Legion and a lot of Paradox interactive games, Grand Strategy games, Hearts of Iron 4, Europa Universalis 4, Crusader Kings 2, Victoria 2, a lot. I've been traveling through history, commanding nations and whatnot, and that's been a lot of fun, but primarily, it's been a lot of Watch Dogs Legion, and been playing a bit of Plague's Tale on PS5. Funny thing about that one is I was actually getting the PS5 version of Ghost of Tsushima downloaded, and while I was waiting for it, was like 60-something gigs, so that was a long download. So while I was waiting for that to download, I'm like, hey, I got this Plague's Tale game, I got it, free with PS Plus, let me try it out, and it sucked me in. Even after Ghost of Tsushima was downloaded and ready to go, the PS5 version, I was still playing Plague's Tale. So, love that game. That's awesome. Watch Dogs Legion, I got a couple of problems with. I'll go ahead and get into it right here. It's like a little mini 2-bit review here for you guys. And that is, the game has a few problems. One, I'm kind of getting tired of Ubisoft's approach to game design. Basically, I got sucked into Assassin's Creed Origins back in, 2017. Fell in love with that series. Played the shit out of that series from 2017 to about, actually Valhalla. Valhalla came out. So you're looking from 2017 to about beginning of 2021, maybe even a little bit before, probably the end of 2020. So good, what's that, a good 3-4 year run. I played every single Assassin's Creed game. Now, I didn't play it, in a row. Like, I would play one game. Sometimes I might even play a couple of games, together. Like, I'd beat one, move on to the next one. But then I would go off and kind of cleanse my palate and play another series or another game, so I didn't get bored. Because if you just play the same type of game over and over again, you get really tired of it, like I am now with the Ubisoft's games. Anyway, long story short, through playing the Assassin's Creed games and then the Watch Dogs games, because they're sort of linked to the Assassin's Creed games, I've gotten kind of tired of, I don't know if I would say I'm tired of open world games in general. I'm pretty tired of them because almost every other game that's out there is an open world game. Every PS4, I was about to say PS4, every PlayStation exclusive is just about open world. I'm getting a little bored of it. It's kind of, there is that aspect, but Ubisoft in particular, because at least with, even though I get tired of Sony following the same formula, at least they put, they give you the meat and potatoes of a video game. I loved Spider-Man. I love that story. It was a living, breathing city in a world where the Ubisoft games, honestly, I feel like, yeah, you create a city with a bunch of people in it and all that, but it still feels empty somehow. Ubisoft gives you quantity over quality, where I feel like Sony, sometimes maybe they're quote-unquote open world, maybe it's smaller than, say, a Grand Theft Auto, but what's in there is really awesome. Or the Yakuza is actually the best example, because the Yakuza will, sure, their open areas aren't as big as some of the other games, but, they get every ounce they can out of those areas. There's so much to do in every little alleyway in Yakuza 0, for instance. And so Sony's pretty decent about that too with their exclusives and their open worlds. So I think it's mainly a Ubisoft thing, because especially with Watch Dogs Legion, it I don't know. It just, I didn't even like its story was like okay. It was okay. I like the concept of being able to recruit anyone in the city, but at the same time, even the main missions just kind of felt like rinse and repeat, like the side missions. And the side missions really had nothing whatsoever to do with the main game. It just, that game overall felt really empty and barren to me. That's just my opinion. I mean, I loved playing the second Watch Dogs game. Was actually, I liked that one. I guess because it had a main character and you had a cast of characters and you kind of got, to know them, and I felt like there was more to it. Where in Watch Dogs, the first one, it was okay, but Watch Dogs Legion, I don't know, it felt empty to me. It felt really empty, and even like their missions, like I said, there's not a whole lot of night and day between the main missions you do for the story and the side missions you do, as far as like approach and all that. Some of the gameplay aspects were fun, but I mean, you can get that in Watch Dogs too. That's that portion of it. My second portion that I don't like about it is their saving system sucks. Same thing with Valhalla. Valhalla was the same way. You would lose your save file. I don't know if the game is relying on Ubisoft servers, because if it is Ubisoft, just go back to manual saves. Okay, let the user do their own manual saves, because we will be more responsible with our save files than you are. Because with Watch Dogs, several times, the game doesn't autosave. It claims it does, but it doesn't really. It doesn't really autosave, except for like when you go in to, I guess, quit the game. But you have to go in the pause menu and quit the game and all that. And I think I can say most people don't do that nowadays, because most people are used to autosave features in games that automatically save a local save file on your hard drive, and then when you close the app to the game and you boot it back up, that save is still there. And Watch Dogs doesn't do that. They do not do. They even stated on their support site that if you're playing on console, it does not allow you to do a manual save. And so I've lost a lot of game time with Watch Dogs because of that. I would play a good 3-4 hours into the game, and through either power going out or me just closing the game app and not just thinking of it, because I'm just so used to games autosaving nowadays that I want to go to the menu, quit the game, and then close the app. And so I lost a lot of save files and had to replay through a lot of stuff. And let me tell you, when you have to I guess maybe that's why I felt like there was a lot of rinse and repeat with the game. Maybe because I had to replay the same fucking missions over several times. Anyway, long story short, I'm going to hold off on Watch Dogs 4. When it comes out, I'm just not going to get it new, not going to ask for it for my, birthday or Christmas or whatnot. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for the game to come out. I'm going to look at the reviews. I'm going to actually see if they've fixed any of the issues that are there. And I might even do that with the next Assassin's Creed game. Ubisoft, you've really done a number on me. I'm going to have to wait, because I could tell you at least the Ubisoft back in, 2016, 2017, when we got Assassin's Creed Origins, that type of game, that was awesome. What other Ubisoft? There was another Ubisoft title that I was playing that Watch Dogs 2. That was really awesome. There was this little era where Ubisoft, I felt like, was at least doing decent, much better than, say, EA, but now I just feel like I don't know what they're doing, especially the save system. I don't know what you designed here, but it's not working, and it's causing people to replay through stuff, and they don't want to. That's frustrating, and it makes the game not enjoyable, and we play games to enjoy them. So, with that said, that's what I've been playing. You guys let me know in the comment section below what you have been playing. Alright, folks, moving on to the PlayStation Showcase that happened last week. Now, I know I'm a week late and about $20 short here, but I thought I would go ahead, since it was fairly recently, talk about it. And I'll go ahead and just give my score up front. I would give the showcase a solid B. It was a solid B, but with that said, I had some problems with it. Let's just run off the top of things that I thought was pretty cool in it. So, like what they, as far as the awesome games they showed, Thor Ragnarok, of course. Again, I don't think I saw a release date for it, but still, it's like Sony's going, okay, you bought the PS5. Here's what's down the road. I think is what this showcase was all about. Because right now, Sony doesn't have anything. They don't have any games right now, really. Like, we had Miles Morales, and since then it's just been a bunch of, hey, Director's Cut, which is really just them porting over their PS4 games to the PS5, even though the PS5 can play PS4 games. They figured they would upscale it, add HDR to these games, and charge you another $70 for it, even though on the Xbox you get upgrades for free for their first party. Just saying, Sony, what the hell are you thinking? Anyway, with that said, we are getting Thor Ragnarok. That's cool. Of course, Horizon Forbidden West coming out at the beginning of next year, so at least I think what they showed, this portion of it, is giving us something to look forward to in the coming year and the year after that. And then also kind of laying their cards on the table and showing you long-term plans too. Spider-Man 2, not till 2023, which I was kind of like, but then at the same time I'm like, okay, but we got it, it's coming. Like, that's 2 years away, and it might even be a beginning of 2023, so we might not have to wait till the end of 2023. But if it takes that long, so be it. Spider-Man was an awesome game. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man 2. We got Miles Morales there, Peter Parker's there, and then we got also Venom there, so going to be pretty cool. And with that, they're expanding the Insomniac Marvel gaming universe. We got Wolverine, though they didn't have a release date, so I think this is still in the very, very early stages. So I think what you're going to get is Spider-Man 2 will be first out the gate. And I might even say, with them going ahead and showing Wolverine, we might see Wolverine the very next year after Spider-Man, because we got Spider-Man in 2018, right? And Miles came out in 2020, so that was roughly like 2 years or so, about a 2.5, or not 2.5, but a year and a half or so, because I believe it was the end of 2020 Miles Morales came out, and Spider-Man came out the end of 2018, so yeah, you're looking at roughly 2 years, so who knows, maybe it might be Spider-Man 2 drops, and then the very next year, or maybe even the year after that. So 2025, we'll be getting Wolverine. We'll see. I think if they're really wanting to take advantage of this expanded, this universe that they're expanding, they might need to increase their. I'm pretty sure they have, but increase their staff there, because I think if you want to start, You definitely don't want to overdo it, but at the same time, I'm kind of sitting there looking at it going, okay, well, how are we going to get, like it's going to take forever. At the rate it takes to make games, it's going to take forever to get a lot of the Marvel Universe into one game universe. So I'm thinking there's going to need to be rapid expansions at Insomniac, or Sony's going to need to start pulling in other teams to create other games. And that also would be awesome, but to be honest, I don't think we want Sony just becoming the Marvel video game maker. They have some of their own really awesome exclusives. And with that being said, moving on to some other cool stuff they showed, we got more Deathloop gameplay. I'm excited for that game, but I don't think I'm gonna get it just yet. What else was there? Oh, yes, forgive me. Knights of the Old Republic remake. We're getting a freaking remake. Now, would I have liked a Knights of the Old Republic 3? That would have been good, but I'm willing to dish out money for a remake. This is going to be, I think, a timed exclusive, but still an exclusive nonetheless. And it's, like I said, I'm looking forward. It needs to be remade anyway. We need a more modern twist on that game. and then also hopefully this does really well and they decide to remake Knights of the Old Republic 2, and we actually get a a finished product, because Knights of the Old Republic 2, the original release, was not a finished product. As much as I love that series, go back, guys, play through Knights of the Old Republic 1 and then play through 2, and then tell me if 2 was finished. It wasn't. So I'm very hopeful. Hopefully this reignites the series and they go and give us a KOTOR 2 remake, and then after that we get Knights of the Old Republic 3. That would be stupendous. Just my opinion there. There was another game I left out there, Ghostwire Tokyo. Again, that looks like a very interesting game, but I should say that also with Deathloop. I think those at this point are timed exclusives as well, because Microsoft owns Bethesda, and Bethesda owns the studios that are making those games. So I think they're going to be exclusive at least for the foreseeable future. We're probably going to see those games make their way over to PC and to Xbox at probably by 2025, I would say. You're going to be looking at the mid to end of the life cycles of the current consoles. I personally think, I mean, I could be wrong. They could show us next year that those games are headed to other hardware, but I'm sure Sony probably inked in a pretty extensive deal with those exclusives. Just my opinion. Again, moving down the list, though, the rest of their showcase was not that great. I just covered the parts that I thought were awesome. The part that wasn't great is they showed a lot of third-party stuff that's also going to be on other consoles. I might have left out a few exclusives, pardon me, but the other exclusives they showed didn't really stand out too much. Forspoken looks interesting. That's an exclusive, I believe, but again, the ones I mentioned are the ones that stood out to me. And like I said, the rest of the stuff they showed was like a lot of third-party stuff that's going to be on the Xbox and PC. Not really interested. I'm coming to the Sony showcase to see what Sony has. Not for Sony to go, look, GTA 5 is coming to the PS5. Remember that PS3 game you played back in, 2011, 2012? Well, it's coming on over to the PS5. I don't give a crap about that. Also, they showed that they're doing a remastered of Uncharted 4. Yay, it's backwards compatible on the PS5. Why would I want to rebuy that game? Why, Sony? Unless you're giving out free upgrades, I'll go for that, because that's what your competition is doing. So, what are we doing here? Anyway, that's why I give it a B, though, because they did have some solid showings. We know what we're getting coming, right up the road, and we know what we're going to be getting going down the road with them. So that was really good. But what keeps, I think, Sony from getting a solid A for me is all that other schlock that they had. The third-party stuff that isn't that great, and then also the remaster stuff of games that I bought, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. So, yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of the PlayStation Showcase. Alright, and I think that'll do it for this podcast. Not a very long podcast, but I just wanted to kind of pop in, let you guys know I'm still around and kicking, and hopefully I'll pop in again very, very soon. Maybe even next week with another podcast. We'll see what happens in the gaming world and all that good stuff. I was actually going to cover the rumor of Nintendo lowering the price of their base console, but hey, I just saw they lowered the price, at least in Europe. But usually if they lower the price in one market, it's going to come to all the markets. So, hey, awesome. The base Switch is getting a discount. They don't really need to, because it's, from what I saw, it's still selling really well. But, I mean, you got the Lite and you got the OLED out there. So I think it is time to make that OG model, bring it down on price. It's been on the market long enough, and they'll sell even more. So, yeah, thumbs up to them. With that, as you guys have noticed, I still have content dropping at least once a month. We've had the 2-bit compares and the 2-bit reviews. I actually already have all of next year's reviews that I wanted to do done. This is kind of a channel update, by the way. I know I didn't segue into it that well. So all of next year's is done, uploaded, scheduled. It's great. What I'm working on right now, I got 2 viewer-requested reviews that I have been trying to get to, so hopefully I can get to them soon. You two know who you are if you're listening. played the games, wrote the scripts. I just need to sit down and record them, and I'm probably going to do it over my next weekend. And then those will be uploaded and be coming out hopefully soon. With that being said, I'm already done playing all of the games that I want to do the year after next. So 2023's reviews. It sounds crazy, but I do this stuff in bulk. Next year's reviews I did at the beginning of the year, and the year after next, I've just finished playing through all those reviews, but they're still a ways off. I'm still in the process of writing the scripts for those reviews, so it's not like those reviews are actually done, but I thought, hey, why don't I go ahead and, let everyone peek behind the curtain on what I've been working on, and that's kind of what I've been working on. I want to work also on another series I haven't gotten to yet, and I need to hurry up and quickly get to it because time is of the essence with that one. Also, I think I want to sit back down and do some 2-bit compares because those were really fun to do. I did those at the end of last year, and I did a bunch of them. As you guys have seen, I did a bunch, uploaded, scheduled them out, and that's typically how I do things. I like to do things in bulk. I'll spend a good, 2 weeks to a month working on what I consider a project, and I get it all done, get it all uploaded, get it all scheduled out. And that's kind of how I do things, and that frees me up to, because this is a hobby for me, to be honest. So, I don't do this full time. I was doing it full time back in 2016, 2017, but things happened in my life, and I had to go do other things. So it's my time is very precious. So when I am able to work on content, I usually go balls out, and I do a bunch of it. So that's why I have all that game footage recorded, and I'm working on the scripts for them. As always, though, if you guys want me to do a review, you can request it. I'll try my best to get to it as soon as possible. I'm not always successful. I apologize on that. But I do always eventually get to it, play the game, and then review it and give you my thoughts. With that being said, I hope you guys have an awesome day. It was good to be back and do a podcast and flap my gums here for a little bit with you guys. Anyway, with that said, you guys, as always, stay safe and play on.